Alex, getting ready to head out to Nebraska and Iowa this week, two teams that you've scored against during your career. You were there in 2012, scored at Nebraska's field, and your classmate Taylor Newoy had the game winner that day in overtime. Tell us what you remember about that game.
Yeah, that was, whenever we talk about that, like me and Newoy, I'll be like, man, remember when we scored you scored in overtime off a corner kick off a header, because she just that's like the most, it's just some way that Taylor, you never expect her to score. But yeah, she scored off a header off a corner kick, and it was just great. It was a really good feeling.
Celebrating an overtime win on an opponent's home field, is that a pretty unique situation, experience that you don't forget?
Yeah, you can say that. I think it was pretty unique because, I was excited that Taylor scored. She's one of my best friends here, so that was awesome. And I think the fact that, yeah, we beat them at their home field, that's always a really good feeling.
Now, my memories of Nebraska's field is it's probably the smallest in the league, tucked right in there next to the football field. How does the smaller size impact the game most?
Yeah, it's if I remember correctly, it's inside a track and it's pretty small. We don't like playing on small fields because it kind of constricts us. We like to spread out wide and play long, but it does mean less running for me, so I'm not that disappointed with playing on a small field, but it is frustrating when you're trying to slip balls in behind and it just runs off to the goalkeeper, so got to be prepared for that.
Nice to see you get that assist record to yourself. By my count, 10 different Boilers teammates have scored for you to get those 23 assists, and Michaela ended up having the tying one and the one that decided it. She's also from the Pacific Northwest like you. Is that kind of special that she, as a first-time scorer this year, was the one that did it for you?
Yeah, she's a really good friend of mine, so it was really exciting to just have her score in general. The fact that they were my assists makes it even better, but I was just really excited because those were games that we were in because she put the ball away, so yeah.
Lastly, probably, with Purdue hosting the Big Ten tournament, probably the last road trip you're going to be on as a Boilermaker. Would you say road trips are maybe one of the most underrated things for student athletes, memorable, something you'll miss?
Yeah, I'll definitely miss traveling. This year's been super fun because we got to go to DC and explore everything and stuff with Maryland and Rutgers being added to the Big Ten. So I feel like it's a chance for us to bond with our teammates and just feel really close. And there's nothing like playing away. So yeah, it's kind of sad, but looking forward to winning. So yeah.
Yeah, you're looking at, I think, when I've watched Nebraska play, they certainly are in almost every single game. They're a hard-working team. I think they're very, very organized. They do some things offensively that you don't see a lot of other sides do. They spread out. They definitely open the game up a lot and try to push you side to side, front to back. And they've got several kids that are really, really good dribblers of the ball, and very attack-minded individually. So we've got to make sure that we're compact and we do a good job sliding and pressing against them. Iowa is a different animal altogether. A very organized, hard-working team, a 4-2-3-1, a counter-attacking team, and a set-piece team. And so for them, you've got to be very patient in what you do, and you've got to be very organized and brave when you're defending free kicks, because they score a lot of goals off of free kicks and countering. So you don't want to open yourself up. Definitely, I think it's one of the harder road trips there is in the Big Ten. In that, like you said, the fields are different. Both of them are fairly small. Both teams are pretty compact, and both have some fairly dangerous, pacey front runners that look to get the goal very, very quickly. And I think that's the way the two teams have set themselves up. For us, it's a essential must-win weekend. We've got to go and get 6 points. You can only play one game at a time, and that's what we will focus on as a coaching staff. That's what we'll talk to the players. But overall, looking at the 72-hour trip effectively, we've got to go and get 6 points.
It was fall break on campus after Saturday night's game. You gave the team a couple days off to kind of maybe clear their heads. Not your finest performance of the season, unfortunately, on Saturday.
Yeah, the disappointment was, you looked at the stat board at the end of the first half, and we had outshot Michigan State 10-2. I think 4 corners to none, and we found ourselves 1-0 down. Certainly, I think it was a ball our goalkeeper could have saved. That was disappointing, but at the same time, we didn't finish off. We didn't have the sense of urgency in front of the goal that we should have. I think we believed that, with the way Michigan State was playing, we were going to get another chance. We were going to get another chance. Overall, over the course of play, I think we doubled their shot output overall. I think large portions of the second half, in addition to the first half, was played in their end of the field. However, in the second half, we weren't dangerous. We weren't as dangerous as we were in the first half. I think that we allowed them with the 1-goal lead to get numbers back behind the ball and just kind of absorb pressure, and they did a good job on that. And then, with about 10 minutes left, they finished the opportunity. They finished their breakaway, which we missed in the first half, and we failed to put on frame. And I think that was the biggest thing is our inability to put balls on frame really was the separating factor. We didn't force their goalkeepers to come up with saves, even though we were getting the opportunities. But that's the same story for us over the course of the season. I think as a coaching staff, we've got to do a better job. We've got to find a way to get the players to get their shots on goal and force the opposing goalkeeper to make saves. And if we do that, I know we've got kids that'll score goals for us. But we certainly are in a drought. That's something that has to change. I think 1 goal in 6 games, and you're not going to win many soccer games. And we're putting far too much pressure on our back line and our goalkeeper to play perfect matches, and that's just not going to be possible playing the level of competition that we're playing. I give kudos to our back line. They've really been fantastic all year, and I think they've kept us in games. But, I think offensively from the midfield forward and outside backs included in our offensive output, I think we've got to do a better job going forward.